What's up, Notre Dame fans? Welcome into this special Notre Dame recruiting update brought to you by a new offer. I am here with our football analyst, Tim Hyde, and today we are talking about the fact that Notre Dame has offered a 2023 safety in Ben Minich. He is out of the Cincinnati area, and I can pop up his information right here. But yeah, he's out of the Cincinnati area. As you can see, he is the number 533 player nationally in the country. But as we're going to talk about in a second, he is very quickly rising in the ranks. And On3 actually thinks even higher of him. They have him as the number 33 safety overall in the class. So, Tim, I know you've had a chance to look at his film and kind of diagnose what he brings to the field. What have you noticed looking through some of that stuff?
Well, the one thing that pops off at you is his, straight speed. I mean, he gets the ball and he's going to go straight line A to B in a heartbeat. So he is extremely, extremely fast, towards the ball. He's a good looking box safety. So if Notre Dame's going to recruit him as a true safety, he's a strong safety. He's your cover three. He's a dime, nickel type of a safety, drop down in the box. Really good athletic football player, physical. The guy plays, one of the words I was chatting with some guys on our message board recently about him is he's fearless. The guy could run with anybody. He is extremely violent at the point of attack. This is a great little play here on special teams. Shows you, look at the effort he's playing with here to go get that onside kick. So, really, really good, talented football player. I know he's people are going to like, oh, he's a 3-star, doesn't have the giant offer list, but he's one of those fast risers. And Notre Dame has seemed to have, quite a few of these guys recently and hit really good success rate. So they're a great play right there. The one before where he's playing the flat in coverage, really good alley football player. The one before he makes a great play on the flat, even right here, jumping the screen. When I say alley, those hash marks, that's why I think he's an outstanding strong safety candidate. And depending on what Coach Golden does with this defense morphing forward here, is he a rover type guy, a true outside backer? That's what I see in him. I think he's an in the box, 8-man in the box type of football player. It's a great play right here. This shows you his speed. So, it's an interesting late offer, but I think it does make sense when you look at the depth chart moving forward at the safety position of getting more bodies on campus.
Yeah, and that's interesting you brought that up. Al Golden is very interested in getting more defensive backs. He wanted to take 5 in this class. He already has both Peyton Bowen and Adon Schuler committed at safety. He has Christian Gray and Micah Bell committed at cornerback. This is not a response to losing any of them, or Notre Dame thinks that they're in a bad position with any of them. This is literally a response to the fact that Al Golden wants to take 5 DBs. He wants to build up that secondary. And they looked at Ben Minich and they thought that his ceiling is very high. And like we said, he is rising rapidly. He recently got an Oklahoma offer. He went on official visits to Cincinnati, Duke, Wake Forest. Those last two in particular kind of signal to you that academics are very important. I was reading up on him, and there's an article from a local Cincinnati paper that says that his ACT score is 33, and he is very proud of that. And that is something that he wants to, academics are something that he wants to pursue, which obviously bodes quite well for Notre Dame. Tim, do you have any thoughts on that?
30 people don't know 33 is really good. What is that?
Perfect is 36. If you
exactly, I was going to say 36.
You don't know.
So I've coached a few guys that have been recruited by the Ivy Leagues, and 33 is really good. You could go anywhere in America with a 33. So congrats to him. But looking at, I mentioned depth chart, after this season, replenishing the DBs. I mean, Notre Dame's going to lose a good chunk. I mean, more, I know there's a COVID year and all this, crazy, bodies could come back, but more than likely, let's look at Houston Griffith is going to be gone. DJ Brown, more than likely gone. Brandon Joseph is more likely going to be gone. There's 3 safeties right there that are going to move on. Tariq Bracy, Cam Hart is, more than likely going to, he'll be a graduated 4th-year player, move on to the NFL, be a draft pick. And that's 5 DBs. So you've got to get more bodies. Obviously they recruited Mickey and Morrison. Bellamy, is he a nickel safety? Can he play safety? He's that, type of mid-range athlete to find a spot for him. Obviously, this class with 4, I think getting 5 DBs in this class is perfect to replenish some of the bodies, especially going back to 2021, where Notre Dame's already had a couple of those guys, JoJo Johnson and Kari Gee have already transferred that were safety. So
Yep.
bodies. Notre Dame needs bodies, especially in this modern offense where you're playing 5 DBs more than you are 3 linebackers. So
Sure.
it's a smart move, and he fits into a lot of what Notre Dame is going to do, especially if they're going to be a 3-man front type of a scheme moving forward. When you get all these hybrid linebackers, D linemen, Notre Dame's recruiting a lot of bodies, as I like to say on D. Not, there's not a lot of guys just pigeonhole. You're a Mike, you're a this, you're a that.
Sure.
There's dudes all over the place. And I think they're going to be very multiple on defense. And Ben Minich gives them a really good athlete somewhere in the box, that he could play.
Yeah, no, and as we mentioned, this is a look at Notre Dame's 2023 class right now. It has 20 commits in it. It's split 10 and 10 on offense and defense. But you have Peyton Bowen here, you have Christian Gray here, both top 100 players in the secondary, and then you have Micah Bell sitting just outside of the top 100 consensus wise. And Adon Schuler is down here too. And there's a lot of talk that he might be a little underrated. And this fall he might get bumped up, and you might see him more up here closer with Bell, Gray, and Bowen. But yeah, I think as we switch more towards this pass heavy offenses in college football, you're gonna need these DBs. And Tim, you mentioned Notre Dame's recruiting a lot of guys that are super versatile, have very high football IQs, so you can move them quickly. They already did it with Joshua Burnham, I believe, who came in as a linebacker and has since moved to Viper. That happened like 2 or 3 weeks into spring ball. So he's a very smart kid. They recognize that. They were able to move him quickly, and he's kind of thriving at that Viper position now. So yeah, it seems more and more defenses are morphing into just 11 guys who can do a bunch of different things instead of 3 different levels. And obviously that's an oversimplification, but I think that's kind of the direction we're heading.
Well, that's a great point, Ashton, because you look at Coach Golden, who's been in the NFL. So he's been around. NFL is nothing but a package on every single down is different defense. And Coach Freeman talked about that in the spring, where they really highlighted that type of a defensive mentality in the spring. And Coach Freeman, he's a 3-3-5, type of a scheme personnel recruiting. And, me and Mike Singer have talked about this on a few other videos. The D linemen are all versatile. Look at the linebackers the last couple of years. Like you're saying, they've already moved Josh Burnham to Viper, to Ziegler could play Rover, Will. Yeah. Tulialamaka is a pretty solid Mike. But the linebackers here, Zinter could play Viper, a middle backer, whatnot. Bowen, his whole film is outside backer, playing the wide side field spot, but he may be a middle backer. They're recruiting the heck out of Jaden Osbury, who everyone's thinking he's a Rover type guy. You watch his film, that guy's a Mike and Will, if you ask me. His versatility and the way he reads the run is elite level in this country. So a lot of good pieces that they could peg around for Coach Golden and Freeman on defense moving forward.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys too, the guys that are currently on the team, when we talked to them this spring, they were touting the fact that because Golden has that NFL experience, that's also a draw to Notre Dame. Not only are you able to pull in these guys that have these versatile skill sets, but you're able to say, look, Al Golden has developed these guys into elite athletes and played with it or coached them in the NFL. He's also obviously been in college. So he understands all of this and has a very good bird's eye view, which is part of the reason that Marcus Freeman hired him in the first place. But kind of seems like there's knowledge at all levels of all positions, of all different skill sets, which I think definitely bodes well for Notre Dame in the future. But anything else, Tim? Or are we good?
Yeah, no, I was going to say that, that was perfect. Just one more point on that is, look how many times Notre Dame played dime last year. A ton. Mm-hmm. This was highlighted as the season went on. 6 DBs on the field. It was always talked about, how many times they have 6 DBs? A lot. As this was when Ramon Henderson was getting on the field more, finding spots for Isaiah Pryor. Isaiah Pryor and Minich, same type of body frame, box, fast, straight line type guys. Yeah. Very physical point of attack. So I think moving forward, Notre Dame's going to look for these Rover guys, the fill-in spots, and a bunch of DBs to play all over the field, which the type of defenses they play, you need them, or excuse me, the offenses that they're going to be
Absolutely.
playing. Look at this year. The three biggest teams they're going to play are going to be 100% spread, chuck it all over the place with the Buckeyes, you know, the Trojans and the Tigers and Clemson. So you got to need some DBs moving forward.
Yep, absolutely. All right, that is all from us. Before you hop off, make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel. Of course, always check out everything that we have on blueandgold.com too. We have articles up on Ben Minich on the secondary recruiting, on just the 2023 class in general. You should check all of that out, and we will see you next time.